Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's ESG and today we're going to be playing Hearts of Iron 4 Germany and we're going to be going a communist route. So stick around to the end of the video. There's a lot of ins and outs to this build. Let's get into it. So to start off, we need to fix the MIFO bills, which will be quite crippling here to our economy if we don't get rid of them. And we're going to be going prioritize economic growth. And that is because as soon as we get rid of the MIFO bills, we will no longer have to spend political power to change our economy. So the 4-year plan side, you rush down to institute price controls and you have to spend political power in order to keep your consumer goods factories factor low. On the left side, you don't really have to spend political power. And since there's going to be a communist revolution in Germany, we're going to need all the political power we can get so that we don't get massive debuffs after the revolution. We're going to start off by building civs. All the military equipment that is built will be used against us in the Civil War, so might as well start off with civs. Going to build out the old fleet that's already in production here. My military equipment production lines are as such. And we'll go heavy tanks for this build. This is the heavy tank that we're starting off with, and we'll research Flammpanzer so that we can upgrade this tank for free. Starting research is going to focus on industry and also getting the better tank gun with soft attack, and we'll put that on the heavy tank. I have a line here that I've started, and the first thing when the Civil War breaks out is we're going to head straight for Berlin. All right, we've completed prioritize economic growth. Now let's go straight for rally the Wehrmacht. So if you want to know the focus tree order, just look in the description box down below and I've provided the focus tree order there for you. Okay, first decision, the loyalty of the Kriegsmarine. I just say we mustn't placate Eric Rader so that we get the extra political power. We're going to need a lot of political power for this build. And we completed Rally the Wehrmacht. We get August von Mackensen as our leader. So he gives us stability, war support, division recovery rate, attack and defense on core territory of 10%. So that's quite huge. Now let's check out what's going on with the focus tree. So we need to tend to the future of Germany so that we can go down the communist path here on the left, but we need to end the Civil War before we can continue down this path. This bypasses, so don't click on this button. We're now going to go currency reforms, which is going to reduce our consumer goods factory factor by 20%. So that's going to help out recovering economy, and we're able to change our economy straight to war economy. Basically, half of our equipment has been sent to the opposition here. We want to consolidate our air wings, and then we want to send them to Eastern Germany here. And as you can see, we get 24 divisions here. Make sure that you note that they are only 3 battalions of infantry, so they're not going to be able to push that well. So what I like to do is front line them. Targets here are to get Magdeburg, because there'll be a lot of supply here, and Rostock because there's a port and there'll be supply. And we want to make sure that we push as much as possible. The tanks, there's some planes up here, so we want to make sure that we maneuver the tanks up north. Wherever you have air, you can push. Wherever you don't have air, just stay still. So this is an example of what happens. So as the war ticks on, you're going to keep on getting military factories and infrastructure and civilian factories damaged. So we want the war to be short. Expatriated communists return home. Welcome back, comrades. So that's going to give us daily communism support, which is going to be very important. So our goal here is to reach 50% communism support so that we don't get a secondary revolution. So that's why it's so important. So a nice place to kind of hold is if you can cut right through here. And after you take the Eastern Territory, you could basically maneuver the tanks across these hills and plains near Leipzig. Okay, Ernst Thälmann is now released from prison. He will be our new leader. So right here, he gives you daily communism support of 0.10 and 5% political power gain. But eventually he'll be removed as a political advisor and he'll become our leader. So as soon as we have 150 political power, we need to install him to start grinding our daily communism support. We'll just go ahead and take Northeast Germany real quick. All right, and there we go. So we get our equipment back. We bypass rally the nation. I like to choose hang them, and it's going to give us a negative fascism support, so that will help our communism support out. And it also disbands von Bock's troops as well. We're going to line up against Austria next. So let's see, we get some events. So we get the rebellion in Silesia, 119 days. We also have demobilize our economy, which will essentially take us off of war economy. So to get out of the rebellion in Silesia, so Silesia will break away, all we need to do is click tend to the future of Germany, and we'll have that done. So now we can get the proletarian leader. We'll save political power so that we could send an attaché to the Spanish Civil War. Okay, so what we're going to do at this point is we're going to go ahead and click off housing development, and we'll immediately go to tend to the future of Germany. And what that's going to allow us to do is to get the war support down here in the focus tree. So I probably should have held the last focus so that we could gain political power. And we have picked up Ernst Thielmann, which will give us the daily communism support that we need. So we have 114 days to get out of demobilized economy. So after we picked up tend to the future of Germany, the rebellion in Silesia went away. So this activates mission growing public dissent. So we need to basically have a communist government, or else there's going to be another civil war. So in order to do that, we need this red bar to be about 50%. So we've got a lot of work to do here. The next thing that we'll go for is start the proletariat revolution. That's going to give us some more political power, and it allows decisions that will raise up communism support, give us recruitable population, but it'll decrease our resources and factories. So we want to click as few of those decisions as possible. So now that we're on war economy, we can switch to building mills. Okay, we now have 100 political power. We're going to send an attaché to Spain. That increased our war support by 10%. Start the proletarian revolution. And then we immediately need to go for the war support here. So we have 65 Army XP. Let's go ahead and click motorization drive. First thing that I want to do is edit this tank template into a heavy tank template. We'll go with a combat width of 32, and we'll just stick with this as our heavy tank template to start off with. Okay, resurrect the Red Front Fighters League. And then we're going to need to pick up something else to give us war support. Unfortunately, this is -5% division organization, but I guess we'll just take the debuff. So after we get that, we'll remove the debuff, demobilize our economy, and then we need to start working on imminent proletarian revolution. Okay, we now have 150 political power. Let's go ahead and pick up the inflexible communist. And there's political commissars. We now have war support over 50%. And then I like to go formalize the intelligence wing, which is going to give us more daily communism support. Okay, after formalize the intelligence wing, we're going to go denazification campaigns, and that's going to reduce daily fascism support. So as you can see, there's still like a sliver of fascism here. We're about to fail this growing public dissent minigame, and what's going to happen here is until August von Mackensen is removed, we're going to have uncertain future. So we're going to have to change to communism as fast as possible, because that will remove August von Mackensen. And what I'm going to do here is start choosing the expand the proletarian uprisings decisions, and what you want to do is basically choose the areas that don't have a lot of industry, and that's going to add days to imminent proletarian revolution. Now we're going to go for revitalize the nation for the stability. Okay, we just picked up revitalize the nation. Now we're going to reorganize the national volksarmee, and that's going to give us war support, but it'll also add 15 days to the imminent proletarian revolution. At this point, we're going to go rebuild the nation for the -10% consumer goods factories factor. And after rebuild the nation, we still quite don't have enough communism support, so we're just going to hold focus so that we can gain political power. And I'm going to click off a few more of these decisions. We have enough communism support to work down our focus tree here for the people's victory. And if we calculate here, I have 17 days on the proletarian revolution, and then I'll gain 30 from these other two areas. So we should be able to make the 35 days that it's going to take, or I guess it's 25 45 days here since we were holding focus. Okay, we just received the People's Victory, which took Ernest Thalmann out of the political advisor slot and put him as our leader. We still get communism support from him, but now a -5 political power gain. The next thing that we'll do here is Legacy of the Spartacus League. That's going to give us an advisor auto rule, which will again give us research speed and communism support, as well as political power gain. And now uncertain future has been removed, and you can see that our political power changes up to 0.9. Let's edit our infantry division template and just add support AA. We could also add that to the tank, and we'll add Armored Recon Company. We have 2 air experience. I'm just going to upgrade the guns on the plane here. All right, a leader for the people. So I like to keep Ernest Thalmann in power. It looks like he will be modified to actually have a positive political power gain. Party popularity stability modifier 10% as well. That's pretty huge. Our stability is pretty bad. And daily communism support 0.01. So I keep him. So we're going to go down for social ownership, which is going to give us 10% stability and modify recovering economy with all those bonuses for production. So that's going to be very good to rush that. We still don't have a lot of stability, and I harp on this a lot, but stability gives you a host of bonuses here. So to get more stability, we need to raise communism support. So in this case, we're going to go the Marxist philosopher that we just picked up from our focus tree. And he's going to not only give us the political power gain, but he's going to give us the daily communism support. So we just completed social ownership. Now let's liberate Austria and get a little active on the map here. So you can start communist revolutions and just completely do spies. I don't really like to do that. I like to use my army. I like to be active, not passive. Let's conquer some countries here. All right, we picked up Liberate Austria. Now we'll liberate Italy. We'll immediately declare war on Austria. And our stability is only 20, but we shouldn't get strikes because the war is so fast. So we'll take all of Austria, and that gives us an opening so that we have a border with Italy, and now we can attack Italy. Okay, so we get Liberate Italy, which is going to be a puppet focus war goal against Italy. And it's January 25th, 1938, and basically the secret here is if you let Italy build up a bit, it's really hard to break the Alps. We're going to try to attack early. We're going to try to get onto this plains tile here and then cross Italy so that the heavy tanks can come into play. The heavy tanks will do quite well on any plains tiles. Now we're going to come back over to the economic focus tree branch because we're going to need change in popularity of communism and base stability. Immediately as we break through, we want to continuously like walk in here, and wherever you see them walking around, just engage immediately and push as hard as you can. Now we could build a better tank. The way to do this is you put the flamethrower cannon on the tank, the flamethrower weapon, however you want to say it. I'm just going to stay with riveted, and then if I have an armor of like 26, that'll be unpierceable by the AI. And then we'll also put on the radios for the increased breakthrough. And this is going to be the first tank design that we're working with here. So that costs 0 army XP to upgrade. And then I'm going to go ahead and then switch that to heavy tank. And we'll put this into production and we'll start converting from stockpile when we have a stockpile. Okay, I'm going to go for the mobile warfare theorist here, and we'll also go down to workers' rights for the party popularity, and we can finally start going down our doctrine here. We'll just go mobile warfare since we're going the heavy tanks, and then this should help out our air doctrine as well. Okay, we haven't had strikes yet, knock on wood. I'm going to rush down to Palermo. We're working on industrial expansion. Easy. The main thing that I want is Italy's navy. All right, so now we have a seal on southern France. Plan is now that that war is over, we will be able to justify a war goal against Spain. So we need to complete the end of fascism in Europe. However, the Spanish Civil War is still going on. So I'm going to complete industrial expansion here. Okay, so there is industrial expansion, and now we're going to go to end the fascism in Europe. Oh, this is the longest Spanish Civil War. Whoa. I'm just waiting for nationalist Spain to cap so that I can attack here. And then we'll have a southern border with France France and a northern border, but we could definitely push this southern border a lot easier than the Maginot, right? Oh, finally, nationalist victory in the Spanish Civil War. Perfect. So now we declare, been waiting for that for so long. We'll put the Italian Navy on naval invasion support, and then we'll put the subs on convoy raiding. Whoa. Okay, that was crazy fast. So the next focus that we'll go here is root out imperialism, and then we'll go hegemony over Europe, and that should take about 140 days. So we have a war goal on France. We'll just go ahead and deck. Oh, they attack from the back. Okay. Oh, because they have Gibraltar. Duh. You dummy. Okay. Hey, there's a mini encirclement. Let's do it again. There's another 2 divisions. If I cap France, we might have a chance. That was it. Triumph in France. That was pretty sweet. No, Germany will conquer all because there's no other choice. Okay, we now have a chance. And we're going to get Poland out of this deal. Oh, they joined the Allies, but they did not join the war. Well, we're going to start justifying a war goal on you, my friend. All right, so we've been bombing the English Channel here. We've been trading really well, 2-to-1 with the AI Air. And as you can see, we've kind of bombed out the UK sub fleet. So it's time to cross. We'll put the subs on convoy rating in the English Channel. I know this isn't optimal. It's just so that we can get naval invasion support so that we can cross. So we'll put that up. We're going to put von Bock's army here on force attack, and we'll see if they can cross. Okay, looks like we got a fleet engagement here, and we landed as well. Well, I'm going to try to disengage this fleet. We're going to move over the rest of von Bock's forces and start pushing out as fast as possible. Okay, we'll start snaking around London. And then what I like to do is, since we're going to get the UK Navy, we're just going to convoy raid all around the UK Isles here. Okay, the UK capitulates, so we get all of these countries. I'm not going to lie to you, I just want to core them all. And we've turned a lot of the world pink. All right, so we're going to end the video here, but as you can see, it's only a matter of time before we're able to invade the Soviet Union as well as the US. We have a common border with the US, so that would be an easy invasion as well. This is kind of a fun build. It's hard to snake through the focus tree at first. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I like to make conquests. I don't really like to go through like the proletariat uprisings and play passively. I like to use my tanks and my army. And as you can see, you can easily get a world conquest with this build. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys on the next one.